Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? But the party was nice, the party was pumping. Hey, yeah, yeah, and everybody having a fun.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:32. It is June 20th. Hopefully everyone had a nice day off yesterday. Take a look at the disclosure. Let's get to it. All right. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's 6:30 Club. I might be a few minutes late, but get over it. Actually, 3 weeks ago today, I was being wheeled in on a stretcher for heart surgery, and now here I am, clean shaven, getting ready to go. Recovery is sometimes easier than others. People ask me about it. I haven't spoken about it. Sleeping is not fun. This side is not great. This isn't great. That's not great. But every day is a better day. So anyway, it's good to be back. You know, you have this situations like that. It keeps you from sweating the small stuff. And again, you know, some were asking, what was it? It was mitral valve repair. So the valve's repaired, all is well. Now I need a little time to heal. And they say in like 3 to 4 months from now, I could be in better shape than I was 4 months ago. But I need to wait 4 or 5 weeks before I start doing some exercise. So anyway, let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. How we doing? How we doing? We got Mike in the house. We got Pags getting it done. Ali's back. We got Marcos from Spain. Good to see you. Hopefully the family's doing well. We got Glenn. We got Cobblestone. We got EK. We got Frank Tucci in the house. Blair. All right. What's up, Bobby 4.0? So here we are. You know, it's funny. Yesterday on social media, all I kept seeing, and I've been seeing this now for like months, is, oh my God, this market is in trouble. It's only 6, 7 stocks that are leading the tape. You know, and the S&P is up 18% or whatever it's up. I'm like, well, listen, okay, you could go about the market one of two ways. You could have a job and put money in a 401k and max it out and do that literally over 20, 30 years. And guess what? You're catching the move in the S&P 500. You don't care what's driving it, whether it's the rebalance trade, to this trade, to that trade, or 6 names. But if you trade for a living, you need to focus on the best charts, the best setups, the ones in the strongest trends that are making all-time highs. So as a trader, it doesn't matter. You could be in those names and you can make a hell of a lot of money. You just have to have the right tier system and the right process in order to get involved, stay involved, let trailers go. And then at times, you know, maybe you let the trade go when it's getting too silly. But either which way, complaining is not going to get you anywhere. Okay. Look into your trading, look into whether you're making money or not making money, you know, and figure out what you're doing wrong so you'll stop complaining. Anyway, nobody likes to listen to a complainer. And I complained a little bit this week myself because I had some really good ideas and I probably should have made a little bit more, and it is what it is. Anyway, here we are. The market's opening up 20 handles today. There's no really reason why the SPYs are up another, you know, $2 today. All I know is if you do use a system and a process and you buy a dip into the 8-day, 2 weeks ago we held the 8-day here. That was your spot to be buying. Then you had the CPI gap up. Then it didn't fall apart. It wasn't an island top. It wound up being 3 days of sideways action. Okay, and then look at this move. And now here we are opening, you know, $2 at 550.68. So we're opening right up here. If you are not long the SPYs, this is not your day to buy them. If anything, if you have some longs on, you always trim into some strength so you could buy a dip. And we are very extended from the 8-day. So it's a tricky spot. You know, just because it's not an easy buy doesn't mean it's an easy short. But I would think in the first half hour to hour, today's probably a better sell than a buy. And then you get to wait to see what happens market composure wise to figure out if things hold up or not. But anyway, what a move. You know, if you have long-term money, don't feel so good because who knows, we can get into a corrective phase and you're not taking it anyway. If you trade for a living, you got to do a lot of good stuff out there. You know, the Qs are the best stock, you know, best sector out there. If you look at this, you know, this was your base. This was your sideways consolidation. Then we took off above it. And, you know, you've had this sequence that's been really, really strong. It hasn't, all stocks have not been created equal here, but the Qs have been moving up really well. You know, an inside day on Tuesday, after a big move up on Monday, and now it's going to, continue to the upside. Here was your bull flag continuation, right? All chart patterns, all things that you've been studying to make a living, not listening to the guys who play traders on TV, not listening to everyone who thinks they're so smart, not listening to guys on Twitter who never lose. Listen to the charts, listen to the trends, listen to yourself, okay? That'll make you the most money. Anyway, that's that. So, but then there's other sectors that aren't doing anything, right? That's what everyone's complaining about. The IWM, still is nowhere. So the small caps like lower rates, and that's not the case right now. You did get a small little red dog reversal on Monday into a little bit of upside on Tuesday, but that's not anything to write home about. XLE, gave you a bottom trade, after a big move lower. I did buy. I was on Cavuto's show. I think, what day was it? I think it was on Monday where I was buying some calls just for the maybe rebalance trade. I was buying the 88s for $1.10 or 95 cents, and I sold them up to $2 and then bought a little bit back just in case some rebalance type of action happens on, tomorrow-ish, because tomorrow is the rebalance. And then next week also, do they sell some winners and takes up some of the losers? And, if you're playing for that, you're trying to be a little too extra cute. It's not the easiest thing in the book. Listen, guys, I haven't had a contrarian trade in a while, but I'm going to put it out there today because now, to me, my antennas go up when things feel a little silly. So if you look at the SMHs, which has been an unbelievable sector, unbelievable, lots of money to be made. The group's been strong. It's been a heck of a run. I've made my majority of my year on Nvidia. We just had a tremendous call on SMCI 2 weeks ago. It was at 805. Now it's like 950. You name it, it's been there. So right now, what's it called? Let's see, this high here for the SOX SMHs is 278.27. 278.27. Okay, to me, this trade is getting a tiny bit extended and a little bit silly. If you wanted to, if you said, I'm going to put on a Q trade or I want to have a hedge to some of my semi holdings, what you could do is perhaps go out to next Friday and buy a little bit of puts. That's if you want to, okay? I'm just saying, I would be trimming here. Like right now, it's up 4. It's at 280. You cannot buy the semis today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is day 6 higher. There's your 8 day. I would think that the semis are a better sell than buy today, okay? So I've not shorted the SMHs once this year. I might go out and buy some 275 puts for next Friday. Some might do it for tomorrow. Okay, I'm probably going to do it for next Friday. First time taking a contrarian trade in a while. And if you look at the SOX, SOXS, this is the, this thing has been obliterated. I haven't even traded this once. Some people are like telling me, Red Dog, if you want a Q trade, if you think that maybe there's some type of short-term exhaustion trade, this in April was as high as 45. Last week it was in the 25s. It's opening at a new low. Okay, do not buy a falling knife. You do not do it. You don't put yourself in a position like that. But if you were looking for a cute trade, okay, what I think you could do here, okay, it's not for everybody. Hold on. It's not for everybody. Okay, it's a 1927. Okay, if you want to do it, okay, what you probably could do, but it's like a lotto trade. You buy the $20 calls for Friday and maybe next Friday, and that could be a decent hedge for your semiconductor longs if you don't want to sell them and pay taxes, or if you're actually a trader and you're looking for a setup. So I put it out there. I haven't looked for a cute short in any of these. I don't even think in a year and a half. So all I'm saying is today I might do it. I might buy the $20 calls for this Friday and next Friday in the SOX. And this just gapped down the other day from 24. So anyway, it's down here and we'll see. Nvidia has been my number one stock. I've made a lot of money on it. It's been awesome. Pre-split, post-split. If you do remember, I said, guys, you could buy post-split a new setup at 117. If you did so, you've made a hell of a lot of money. Nvidia today is up again. another 360 at almost 140. So, you know, there's a lot of things that go on mentally in trading. Okay, two things happen. One, you sell your stock too early, and it goes up higher mentally. That sucks. I deal with it also. That sucks. The only thing worse than selling your winner early is just because you sold it early, you start shorting it, trying to make money the other way, and then you lose short. So you sell it early, and you're not in for the bigger move, and then you're short, and you're losing it in pain. That, my friends, is a recipe for disaster. Anyway, so right now, Nvidia is opening up 4. Okay, it's near 139. It's not that extended, but if you were long it because it was so strong on Tuesday, congratulations, trim some. If you think it's in the middle of a blow off type move because it's almost 1400, I remember, oh, Jesus, I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, then maybe if you think we're close to this type of rebalance, because there's been a lot of talk on how the XLK had a rebalance, had to, mechanically buy more Nvidia than not, then maybe also here, if you want to be cute, buy some puts for this Friday, for tomorrow, and next Friday, but small. And then it's just a trade. It's a play. You're not cost averaging into a short. I've heard a lot of people who have blown up who have been shorting Nvidia. I don't even understand how they've been shorting it this entire time above the 8-day, acting awesome. But some people have been. I haven't shorted it once in the last year and a half, I don't think. But today might be the day that up 4, it's a better, definitely trim than buy, and maybe cute short if we're close to some type of, ending to this mechanical move. Just some thoughts. Congratulations if you've been in the SMCI. SMCI has been a great trade. I outlined this entire move for you guys. I've made some great money in a bunch of calls. 972 is your next spot. We were talking about, remember, we were anticipating it waking up, and it did above 804. Then it cleared 882, hit a high of 938. 972 is your next spot. If you're long SMCI, maybe trim a little bit into that spot. If you're long options, maybe trim. But I would not be shorting SMCI. This stock, was at 1229. It might even be able to blow through this. SMC, if you look here at SMCI up 31, there's actually some news out this morning about, which I'll post. Congratulations. Sometimes I write better than I trade. I made good money here. I probably should have made a lot more money, but it is what it is. It's a very tricky stock. Either which way, though, this was a great wake-up candle, went sideways, continued. So I would definitely, trim a little bit there, and hopefully you made some money there. No, I wouldn't say sell Nvidia and buy SMCI. These things move as groups. I'm just telling you which one is more extended than another, etc. Like on Tuesday, AVGO took a day off while Nvidia was super duper strong. Sometimes they trade very specifically. AVGO hasn't even split yet. Some of my friends are like, I'm shorting AVGO. I'm like, why would you be shorting it for? That's not the money trade. You want a cute trade, you can make cute cash flow. If you want a money trade, you stick with strong trends. So there's a difference there. Anyway, going to mega cap tech, Apple's hanging around. It's getting a little sloppy. Do I think that 220 is going to be the high of Apple of the summer? I don't. But I do think that it just needs a little bit more time for the 8-day to catch up, for it to get in here. We had a really big money trade here. Now it's just a knick-knack, and we'll see how it builds here before potentially taking out 220, which I do think it can happen. Right now, there's also, Apple buys back a lot of their shares, so all these funds have to rebalance what they have if they have too much based on the float of Apple. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. Give it some more time. As bad as Tesla's been, it's still hanging out in here. It's still in this inside range. It hasn't been a special name. It hasn't been a go-to leader. It's been a trade here or there. It is getting a little tight. It's now above the moving averages just because, it didn't go on Tuesday. I would think that if you wanted to be in Tesla, the gaps. It's a pain in the ass to trade lately. It's very frustrating. It's frustrated the longs and the shorts. I would say the better trade maybe here, since it's Thursday. Go buy yourself this is 191, this is 198. If you think it's going to finally take off for some reason, go buy like the 192 half calls for next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. And then if it does ignite and there's a ton of volume, maybe you could be buying it at 189 and buying it at 191, and then you have options and stock. Other than that, it's been a very tricky trade. And but it is tight and it's setting up, so it is tough. So maybe one day, it'll get some continuity back. But it's been a broken name, and this was our bread and butter 2.5 years ago. Okay, now our bread and butter is Nvidia and the semis. So it is what it is. Microsoft's been awesome. I did get rid of my options. I had a great trade on from here. It looks just fine. It's trending higher. It's not, to me, it's just now it's the trade management. This was get into a core position again, and now trade management, and it looks fine. Meta's been a pain in the butt, but overall, if you look at it, it still just has a decent looking bull type flag here. Can't be so upset about Meta except for a trade sloppy. Some of you guys are still in this, going sideways. If this wants to wake up, it's got to get above 510 with authority, and then you have 514 and then there's 530. So not horrible. It's just, it's not trading with power. Elon's brain is broken, Dunk says. All right, great. Thoughts on Palantir? Palantir was a nice move. A lot of guys on the Alpha team caught it. I didn't. Palantir, look at that move. It woke up right here. It had a nice little bullish candle igniting move. Boom. Consolidated into the 8-day red dog reversal right here and 3 big up days. At this point, if you're not in, PLTR, I wouldn't chase it. If you were in it and made money there, congratulations. It was a great trade. AMD space has been the worst one. If you've been buying AMD because Nvidia is awesome, AVGO is awesome, ARM's been awesome, Micron's been special, and you've been just sitting there knocking your head against the wall buying AMD, I could understand that. Look at it. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible grinder. I don't know what's going to wake it up. You'll probably see it when it happens, if it happens. It's below all the moving averages. Maybe at some point, because I remember SMCI was pretty horrible too until finally it woke up. If you're in a basket of these, just make sure it's not your focus. And at some point, maybe it wakes up a little bit. You could, I guess, lower this to here. This low is 154. It's been bad. It's just, I don't know why. The valuation is still high. Maybe the chips aren't as special as the rest of them, and that's why it's been a no trade. Listen, you could try these things here and there, but if it's your focus, if you're focusing on the laggard, you're probably not going to be in the business much longer. You have to focus on the leaders. But anyway, but if you're in a basket, maybe it wakes up. Like, if you have one eye on it, just to watch. Like here, I was watching SMCI with one little eye on it, saying, hey, if AVGO is that good and Nvidia is that good, SMCI was great. They had one quarter where they had to raise some money because they had to, build their infrastructure. I'm like, let me have one eye on it, being other things, and then it ignited, gave you so even if you missed this move, you were able to focus on it for this move into here. So that's why you have a go-to list and you move things up and down the go-to list, according. Or Bobby 4.0, I'm really rooting for the 6th fastest horse that has bowel issues. True. You know what? If there's a horse race, you're not always going for, the 6th horse that has bowel issues that, might feel better with an injection. Anyway, Amazon, it's been very frustrating. All in all, if you look at Amazon, it still looks fine. But again, just like in AMD, if you've been hyper focused on Amazon and Amazon's the only trade you're in when the spies are making highs, the Qs are making highs, Apple hit 220, you have Microsoft trending and you have these semis going awesome, you've definitely been upset. That's why there's a lot of people upset out there because, they're focusing on the one they like, not the one that the market likes. At some point, maybe this wakes up. Maybe we get that special big move, but it hasn't happened yet. So keep one eye on it. And then maybe at some point, it gets better. But at this point, it's June 20th. We'll see what today brings. I do think, today's gap up is a better take some profits if you're long, then add. Again, the worst thing in the world is taking the revenge side of a trade you were in just because you got out early, but doesn't mean you can't try and test things. And then as far as the market being so bifurcated, as a trader who trades for a living, you have the tools and tactics to find the great stocks. And if you're upset that the S&P is up so much, don't be. If you have a 401k, a 529, a 403b, or long-term funds you put in monthly because you're catching it over there. What's your time frame? Do you trade on multiple time frames? Have you learned? Every Friday I post a weekly chart of the S&P, and I post my tactical thoughts, which is what I make a living on quarterly, and then my long-term thoughts, where I'm putting money away for retirement. I'm 51. I have a long time to go there, and my son's a freshman. He'll be a sophomore for college and whatever. And the Blood in the Street account. The Blood in the Street account's in full cash. I carved out 5% there. That's the rainy day fund that's sitting in a fixed rider for now. So that's a lot of different ways to approach the market. Rome wasn't built in a day. If you're 22 to 25, you probably don't have all those vehicles. You're day trading. If you're just started in a job, you're out of school, it's 2 years, and you're like, oh, I don't want to max out my 401k. I want to go to dinner 2 more times and take out the chicks. Okay, well then you're not sacrificing yet for the future, which I get. But at some point when you're married and have kids, then you definitely want to max out your 401k and sacrifice so you have some things longer term. And that's that. I'm taking a car service to the city today at 1:15. I'm going to be with my friend Liz Clayman. I haven't seen her since pre-surgery. Looking forward to it. I'm going to navigate the morning and get prepared, get your process moving, and I'm going to be back in the sauna and the ice barrel in 1 week. Yes, I'm looking forward to that video. It's been 3 weeks, and I'm getting a little edgy. And I'm also going to revamp the fitness process moving forward, which we'll get into maybe next week, happy hour. Have a good day, guys.